Boom, we are pre-recorded today, ladies and gentlemen. What a wild bull market ride this has been so far. We're gonna start by taking a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Band, and Link. Now, we sent out private updates about Band just last week. Shout out to our boy Baloo for helping us keep up to date with all the crazy content that's going on out there right now. These trading ranges can be so powerful. So with that in mind, let's kind of take a look at where Bitcoin's sitting and make some assertions, because we see both new trading ranges in Bitcoin and Ethereum starting to form. So if we dive in and jump over to the charts here, Bitcoin on the daily up over $35,000 and Ethereum up at $1,188. Just an explosive market move ever since we left the box. And that huge news around the OCC starting to use stablecoins and running validators is a pretty big deal. So obviously this daily chart we're extremely overextended. We've gone straight up since we've left the trading range, almost 222% outside of the top of the box. Now, it's not until we get into the minutia or the 45-minute chart here that you start to be able to see what we've been studying for so long, which are these nice aggregate trading ranges. So again, horizontal trading range, it's pretty simple, not too complex of an idea, and another horizontal trading range. So what we try to do here is really look at the fundamentals of each TR. Let's call them TRs from now for short. We can see this volume spike. This represented the spring of this particular TR. Again, these are important moments to keep up and pay attention to. The price spread wasn't very high either, which was kind of nice. And then you saw an immediate recovery. Now, right now, we are consolidating above the top of the box. And the fact that Ethereum is exploding and the rest of the altcoin, especially the DeFi sector, is exploding, it's important to keep an eye on these trading ranges and study them while they're occurring, because they don't last very long. Again, we've noticed they've been getting shorter and shorter. Currently, this trading range for Bitcoin has only been 4 days. And when we look back at the previous trading range, here, which you're looking at around 5 or 6 days, and then before that, approximately 7 days, and then just before that down when we were around $19,000, approximately 30 days. So as these get shorter and shorter, the likelihood of a top gets closer and closer. Now, one of the interesting points here is that these reaccumulation ranges, which we've gone over multiple times, are pretty easy to find. So whether you're trading or investing, what it allows you to do, especially knowing that we're in a bull market, is look for an accumulation near the bottom of the box if you haven't basically entered a trade at that point. Now, we are pretty high up, which makes the risk of entering a trade significantly higher, but we are still in the early stages of this bull market. So if we go out to Ethereum here and we take a look at this trading range, again, just draw a horizontal box. It's not that big of a deal. And boom, as you can see, the SOS pattern for Ethereum is starting its primary breakout. Now, what's interesting about this is as you start to study these, the explosiveness of each of them likely becomes stronger and stronger to some degree or another. We're looking for a blow off top, but I don't believe we're there yet. Again, one of the things that's interesting about finding the top is you have to wait for it to happen before you can really predicate a guess on where it might come from. So Ethereum right to the top of the box here, break above the creek, and another effective, nice continuation move. Now, I want to take a quick look at, let's see here, where is it? Band. So we sent out an information update on Band about a week ago. Yeah, about a week ago to even our free members. This idea here. What I wanted to go over was this nice accumulation and trading range that took place on Band. It was a beautiful inverse head and shoulders. So again, we like to keep it pretty simple. Here's our horizontal trading range. Here's the break outside of the box. A little bit of consolidation yesterday around 7, and then bam, a very, very fast explosion outside of the top. Some 32% already outside of that one. And you see very similarly, DOT did the same thing. Once you have a move outside of the box, these become extremely powerful. DOT's already at 60%. Now, we're going to take a quick look at Link as well, because it is also moving very strongly in a positive direction outside of its box. And this kind of signals the altcoin season. Now, we were originally looking at this horizontal trading range here. The backup phase and the real test of the supply for Link took quite a long time. I think more than most people were expecting, at least in time-wise. You're looking at a backup phase that took almost 42 days before you saw that real explosion out to the $17 mark. So we're 50% up from the bottom of that backup phase, effectively. Now, again, I have a rising gradient bottom drawn here, which was not as powerful as I thought it might be. So it's much easier to assume that this trading range was horizontal. Now, one of the things I wanted to go over today also is 1inch. So one of the interesting parts about these conversations is the decentralized nature of the automated market makers. And 1inch has brought something pretty interesting to the table, which they're calling the pathfinder. So it's an API that contains a discovery and routing algorithm that they're pretty user-friendly and easy to use UI, and apparently some of the best rates. So we're going to dive in and take a look at this. So swaps are split across 22 supported liquidity pools, utilizing different market depths within each protocol. They've got a nice UI, kind of fiery, cool things going on. Again, we're leaning towards a younger and younger generation that's starting to learn how to invest and play around with this technology. So you're starting to see that younger generation flair come to the UI and UX design. So protocols are supported from Uniswap, V1, 2, Balancer Curve, Kyber, SushiSwap, Dodo, Oasis, Mooniswap. So 1inch can unpack and migrate collateral tokens from Aave and Compound as part of this swap path. So the Pathfinder is strive best speed and rates effectively. So the main component of this new addition to the automated market maker. So it'll split swaps across multiple supported liquidity protocols, and the new Pathfinder algorithm analyzes this market depth within the same protocol. So the other day, I didn't go over this, but I want to double back down here. The fun things about these aggregation protocols is this is really a time to experiment. So the other day, for those of you that were included in this, all wallets that interacted with 1inch until December 24th will receive 1inch tokens. So if you played around with 1inch, go check your wallet, reconnect your MetaMask, and you'll be able to find these 1inch tokens. Now, what's really interesting about this is it kind of asks and solves that problem around the question of decentralization. Uniswap did the same thing. Anyone who's ever interacted with the Uniswap protocol got Uni tokens. And 1inch has done the same thing. And I think it's a great way to repay people for participation. And it's also another incentive for everyone out there to experiment a little. When these new things come up, you should focus on playing with them, because right now you're getting higher rewards from the experimentation process than you are from government stimulus checks. And this only takes like 20 minutes. So one of the unique things here is that they've added another basically pool funding space. So we'll go over here. I was looking at Bear, to the 1inch token. So you can trade Bear for 1inch here. Again, what's interesting is that they add these multiple pathfinders, so you can find the Bear token on 1inch even though we haven't added a pool. So they've got these cool pool liquidity farming effectively. So you go ahead, you connect your MetaMask. I disconnected it just to kind of show the process here, and then boom, it shows how much ETH I've got, and then you can create a pool. So right now we could create a pool of Bear and ETH very similar to how we would in Uniswap. And what's nice here is if I jump over and we look at the Binance page, you can see that the market cycle growth has been quite impressive. Let's go with Trading View here. So we have some of our initial tools. We'll go out to the daily. We'll take a look at the chart here just because this is I had it open on the Binance page already. Actually, let's go for a 4-hour instead. It'll probably look a little cleaner. Yeah, there we go. Boom, look at this. You have already in the 1inch token, why is it not giving me my... Okay, there we go. A 32% gain in the last 2 to 4 days from the 1inch token itself as well. So I really am impressed by the nature of these decentralized automated market makers and their ability to reward people for participating. Again, this whole ecosystem is kind of based around the idea of stakeholder capitalism, which means that the more you participate, the more you get rewarded. So if you guys haven't yet played around and experimented with adding liquidity pools, again, I have to advise against doing it because there are significant risks involved here. You have things like impermanent loss, which basically means if you had one side of the trade and the other, I've got to pay for my new VPN again. And the problem here is you could lose one part of the trade. So let's use Ethereum as an example. We put up Ethereum and say USDT. Now, all of a sudden, everyone's giving me more USDT and buying the Ethereum. And if I add liquidity to that pool, then I would effectively end up with less Ethereum and more USDT. So there's a little bit of a problematic situation between stable coins and volatile coins. You generally want more volatile coins in relation to each other, especially smaller market cap tokens based off Ethereum. It's much easier for a token that's at $500,000 to go to $1 million and double than it is for Ethereum to double. Now, Ethereum, again, is on a huge run right now. We are up at extreme heights, so don't negate that fact. But I just want to give a shout out to 1inch for producing such a cool idea here. You've got circulating supply is 6% of the total issuance plus the first 2 weeks of liquidity mining in the pool. They've got a token lock schedule of 30% of the supply has been allocated with community incentives over the next 4 years. And this kind of decentralization of the DAO is going to lead into more well, from what I've seen at least, and I'm kind of like pontificating here, is your ability to vote for different types of farms and protocol updates. And this, again, leads into that conversation of decentralization. Who's in charge of the protocol? Really what you want to be able to do is give that protocol to the community and let them make the choices of what's going on forward. So back to the charts here. Again, I just wanted to kind of finalize here, guys, by saying this is the perfect time to be studying and educating yourself about what's possible in these markets. Look at what's happening here. Look at the explosion for DOT outside of the box, 62%. Band just starting its nice run here. Again, our private newsletter went out. Actually, do I have it open here? Let's take a look. Blue. Yeah, good. We did. Oh, no, it's on the other computer. Dang. Anyways, the point of this is we sent out a nice newsletter update to the members about this horizontal trading range and this inverse head and shoulders. We had looked at this a few times on the show as well. And again, guys, if you're not trading, this is a fantastic time to be studying because so many things are evolving so quickly, and we normally don't get that. We had a 2-year accumulation period for Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's kind of boring almost to some degree, but now we're in the heat of the bull market. All of this learning can take place at an accelerated rate. So I really suggest that you guys go out and do that. Play around, experiment with the new DeFi sector. I'm extremely impressed by what it's capable of. And as you've seen multiple times before, Uni, 1inch, you're generally rewarded for these participations. I've gone through and I've played with the Binance chain just for this. I expect that Binance will do the same thing in the future. If they don't, scoff on you, Binance. But I do suspect that this is how they overcome the rules and regulations around decentralization and governance protocols around the DAO as well. So be sure to check that out. You can be rewarded again for these liquidity mining. The only thing you guys want to be careful of is the impermanent loss conversation. So you generally want to make sure that the protocols that you're staking are not to a stable coin. It's so much easier to lose out if you're staking a volatile asset versus a stable asset, because if people want the volatile asset, you're going to end up with more of the stable asset. And if you are in this space, I don't know why you'd really want to be sitting on USDT. So go ahead, experiment, guys. I think it's extremely important to do so. Shout out to 1inch and all the innovators in this DeFi sector. I think it's extremely important. I'm going to leave it off at that. This is Teal with the Arcane Bear. What do we got? 13-minute episode today. Give us the thumbs up if you guys like this content. Be sure to leave your thoughts, your comments, your questions down below. If there's anything you would like us to cover, please write that. I've been a little busy still, so much going on at the back end. I'm just I've got all this legal paperwork I have to take care of so that I can stay in Costa Rica. Residency, fingerprints, blah, 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 translations, RCMP, criminal record checks. Oh my God, it is absolutely atrocious. I hate doing paperwork. I wish someone else could do it for me, but hey, I'm the only one that's allowed to put my fingerprints on the paper, so I guess it has to be me. Anyways, this is Teal with the Arcane Bear. Thank you guys all for joining us today. We will see you again on the next episode, and I'm going to leave you guys out with our favorite beloved intro or outro at this moment.